Attention bowlers, we are going to get started from Exeter Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. Welcome to the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. I'm Steve Kelly on the call. This is Anthony Delmonico at Justin Lyonnais, and we are just going to get started here in just a few minutes. Appreciate having you along on this stream on this Wednesday night for some Wednesday night bowling at the Seacoast in Exeter, New Hampshire at historic Exeter Bowling Lanes. Again, my name is Steve Kelly, and I'll be your host, narrator, and guide during this Class B North match between today's challengers, Anthony Delmonico at Justin Lyonnais. And we are starting out here tonight on lanes 10 and 11 at Exeter Bowling Lanes. It's Anthony Delmonico on the head pin with an 8-pin shot right off the bat. And he misses the spare shot. The 3 and the 6 are on the deck. Delmonico fires for the 10 box. We'll take a 9 to start out. 9 after 1 for Anthony Delmonico. Anthony Delmonico, first season in the ACST Class B North Division 2 with the season record so far after one match played, 10-4. That's a 2.50 win-loss ratio. Not a bad way to start the season out. All those points were earned while away. Anthony Delmonico on the head pin with a head pin shot, spread eagle 4-drop. That's a split on that shot. And he's going to be going for a spare bid on the eagle. And he breaks up the roadkill 2 more pins with 4 on the deck remaining for a 6 box or higher. Anthony Delmonico here at Exeter Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. Needless to say, that's a 7 box for Delmonico. Rough start, stands at 16 after 2. Anthony Delmonico so far. And away average of 116.6 after his first match played in the ACST. His high single 133, his high series 583. 1 strike, 18 spares, and 10-10 so far in the season. In the early season, and speaking of early, we have an early strike by Anthony Delmonico. Right at the beginning, a nice hammer shot. So that's 26 and a fill after 3 for Mr. Anthony Delmonico. And I appreciate you watching. Again, I'm Steve Kelly on the call. This is Anthony Delmonico at Justin Lyonnais at Exeter Bowling Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. Anthony Delmonico on a strike. To the left of the head pin, starting out with a 5-drop. 4 horsemen right side, plus a sleeper pin. 5 so far. See what he can do to follow this up. Tries to run him down. Takes 2. Will fill with 8. 34 after 3 so far. Potential for 8 box or greater. No spare opportunity here, as it was missed. Take an 8 box. 1 to go before we welcome Justin Lyonnais to the floor, to the approaches of Exeter Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. Real quick, folks, you may see a little mini score sheet in the top left corner of your screen tonight. Just a little bit of a primer. It's the bowler's initials, the points, the match total, and the game total. The gray section is for leads. That's Anthony Delmonico, though, with a banana split right on the head pin. 6-drop, 7-10, 4-6 is what we're looking at on lane 10. Big league just finished up here at Exeter. Starting out for a spare shot. Anthony Delmonico beans the 6 pin and leaves the 4, the 7, and the 10 unharmed. Delmonico for a 7, 8, 9, or 10 box, and he'll take the 10 box, a pretty 10. Fantastic hard way to take the 10 box. One of those shots he wished was the second ball, but that will finish Anthony Delmonico's first half with 52. We're going to say hello now to Justin Lyonnais now for the first time tonight. Justin Lyonnais, still early in the season. He started out with 12-2 for his first match. Still early, of course, so we're not going to necessarily talk about rankings and more in-depth statistics just yet, but Justin Lyonnais to the right of the head pin. Drops 5, 4 horsemen left side in the 9 pin. Justin Lyonnais, JT Lyonnais, as he's known, as you can see on the shirt and his light blue shirt, baby blue shirt. And he plays the head pin and gets some interesting pinball action, leaving the 2 and the 4 pin. Kind of took out all the perimeter pins, leaving the 2 and the 4, and he'll start out with a 9 box to match Anthony Delmonico's 9 after 1. So again, is JT Lyonnais. I believe this is his first appearance on at least my streams. He has a season record of 12-2, In the previous season, he was Class A North Division 3. This season, he's Class B North Division 2. He has an away record of 12-2, and this will be his first home match tonight. An away average of 110.2, high single 129, high series 551 with 3 strikes, 11 spares, and 17 tens. And JT is a little bit off to the left of the head pin. A lemon drop and then some. A lemon drop plus DLC. For a spare, JT will take a few more, missing the head pin. As I adjust my microphone stand. JT will take a 9-box to start things out. Well, not start things out, but to double his first box, 2 9s, 18 after 2. Lyonnais to the left of the head pin drops 6. It's the 1, the 3, the 8, and the 9. Lyonnais for the follow-up, misses the head pin once again. For the 10-box, he'll take 7. My apologies for the noise. Just trying to fix my microphone stand, which is on a bit of a rickety base. It's one of those things where you set it correctly and then it kind of drifts over time. So I'm just trying to quickly fix that with one hand and hold the mic and score in the other hand. This is Exeter Bowling Lanes. It's all paper and pencil scoring here. All manual the whole way down. That's a head pin and a split for Justin Lyonnais. The eagle minus the 10 pin. 5 drop, 5 up, 5 down. Plays the left side, the correct side of the roadkill, leaving the 3 and the 6 on the deck. And JT will take a 9 in the 4th. 34 after 4 for JT. There we go. Let's see if this microphone behaves and sits where it is now, at least for a few minutes here. JT to the right of the head pin. Awkward array of pins. That's all I can say about that one. The 1, the 2, the 7, the 8, the 6, and the 10 is what he's shooting at. Plays the 1-2 pocket. A little bit too much to the left, though, leaving the 6 and the 10, so no spare for JT. JT will play the 6 and the 10 for the 10 box, getting the 10 box, putting him at 44 after 5. Let's take a look at our big board for the first time here tonight. So 52 after 5 for Anthony Delmonico by my count, and 44 after 5 for JT Lyonnais. The scoreboards, or lack thereof, at Exeter Lanes are all paper and pencil, so we will be verifying things occasionally. The bowlers do maintain a fully separate paper copy from me, so rest assured if things do get desynced, I will be checking with the bowlers, as the bowlers have the final say in the Atlantic Campus Singles Tour. Anthony Delmonico to the right of the head pin, dropping 6. 1, 2, 4, 10. For a spare bid on the 1-2 pocket. Delmonico plays it, and he plays it right, but the wood in front of the 10 pin just doesn't kick over far enough behind to the back corner. So no spare for Anthony Delmonico, playing for a 10 box now on the 10 pin. And I believe that will be a 10 box. I looked away for a split second, but I believe that was a 10 box. Anthony Delmonico on lane 11. Exeter Bowling Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. He misfires a little bit to the left of the head pin. Dropping 5. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. For the spare, and he hits the pins full, which is what you should be doing, but the 9 pin somehow came out unscathed. So now Anthony Delmonico is shooting for a 10 box here on lane 11. And the wood will deflect the ball. He'll take a 9 box for 53 and 6. That's about all we have to say about that for the 6 box. Anthony Delmonico. Oops. My apologies. It'd also help if I put that in the correct spot. There we go. Delmonico on the head pin that time. 7 drop with a split. 3-4, 3-4-6. On the 3-4-6, trying to play the spare, can't quite get it. Slightly to the right of the 3-6 pocket, playing only the 6 and leaving the 3. Delmonico will take a 10 box. 81 after 8. Anthony Delmonico has a perfect box percentage so far of 58% this season. Of course, he's only played 1 match, but, you know, details. Seasonal total pins, 583, again after 1 match. Too early in the season to assess leadership and statistics in that just yet, but that's a head pin shot for Delmonico. 4-pin drop, spread eagle once again. Exeter Lane seems to be very generous on the spread eagle distribution tonight. Delmonico will play the right side eagle, play the left side of the 3-pin, taking out the right half and leaving the left half untouched. For a 10 box now, 7 box minimum. Looks like it's going to be a 9 for Anthony Delmonico. 90 after 9. And at the end of this game, at least, I will just briefly check with the bowlers, because there was 1 box I wanted to make sure I scored correctly for Anthony Delmonico. So I will scurry over there after this one just to verify a few things. Anyways, Anthony Delmonico to the left of the head pin, dropping 6, 4 horsemen right side. Anthony Delmonico, 6 head pin shots tonight, 5 splits out of 10. For the right side 4 horsemen, playing the 3-pin a little bit too direct, taking the 3-6-10, leaving the 1. He'll be shooting for a 10 box now. And he misfired on that. Take a 9. Looks like it's going to be 99 after 10. I will verify that in just a moment. Ooh, sorry about that. Yeah, this mic stand will not stay put tonight. JT Lyonnais having some trouble on that head pin discipline there. He'll drop a smattering of pins. And he'll attempt to take them all out, but he'll leave the 9 pin on the deck. Again, my apologies for that crashing sound. That was my mic slipping off the mic stand, which was attached to a table that's apparently not level. Lyonnais is working on a 10 box on the 9 pin. JT Lyonnais so far this season, that's a 10 box by the way, has a perfect box percentage of 60 after 1 match. Seasonal total pins, 551. He faced Rob Brown in round 1, taking 12 points with a 551 series. 3 out of his 5 games were over 100. That's JT Lyonnais on the head pin. It's an 8 drop on the 4-7. For the 4-7 with wood in front of it for a spare. Will he get it? He will. JT Lyonnais will take home his first spare. Spare of the game and the match for 64 and a ball after 7. In that match against Rob Brown in round 01, JT with a 9 fill. Nice controlled ball there on the head pin. He had a 113, 129, 97, 99, and 113 with 3 strikes, 11 spares, and 17 tens, and JT will take another spare. JT now is at 83 and a ball after 8. You're watching the ACST. I'm Steve Kelly back here. That's JT Lyonnais down there in the baby blue shirt on lane 11, filling a spare with a 9. Great fill so far. Great shot so far. Will he get the 3-peat? He will. That's 3 marks in a row for JT Lyonnais. 102 and a ball after 9. I bowled with JT Lyonnais during a Candlepins for Cancer roll-off at Portsmouth Bowlerama about a year and some change ago, and I remember JT Lyonnais bowled a 190 something. It was in the 190s. I forget the exact number, but That's an 8 fill for JT. Not on the head pin, but an 8 drop and a potential spare leave here. And he'll get his 4th mark in a row. Just putting him away like it's a clinic. 120 and a ball after 10 for JT. He'll far and away take the first game against Anthony Delmonico. 1 fill ball left before we finish the first game. JT currently up by 21 and a ball. 120 to 99. 120 and off to the right of the head pin, he'll take a 6 fill. That's 126. And that will just about do it for the first game here at Exeter Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire, by the seacoast, not too far away from Portsmouth Bolorama, not too far enough from the University of New Hampshire, nearby the seacoast, nearby Maine, plenty of places to go when you're up here in Exeter, New Hampshire. Exeter Bowling Lanes, historic since 1946 or so by my counts, by my memory at least. Anyways, let's just quickly move on to the second game here. Welcome to the second game. Anthony Delmonico down there with an awkward split to start out, 7-9, 10-4. Let's talk about the 7-9, 10-4. There's a piece of wood in front of the 4-pin and a piece of wood too far out to really be effective in front of the 9 of the 10 unless you cap the left side. And apparently Anthony thought of it. Anthony remarking he had to go lower. So he thought what I thought. So no mark, going for a 10 box. 8, 9, or 10 on the 4-7. It'll do you 10 box. 10 after 1 for Delmonico. In case you missed it, JT finished the first game with a 126, victorious over Anthony Delmonico's 99 in the first game of 5 here at the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. It's a 5-game matchup tonight, as is standard issue for all Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour matches, and that was a wild pitch off to the left. Left side gutter ball, the first ball of 3 for Anthony Delmonico in the second box. Delmonico's slightly better, but still not much better. Delmonico is 58% for headpin shots tonight and 50% on splits. And he'll settle for a disappointing 6 box in the second. Some secondary stats for you, which I'll throw up on the screen occasionally here. Anthony Delmonico currently 58% for headpin shots. 7 for 12, specifically. Delmonico on the headpin, much better ball on the headpin, but an unfortunate split, 6-7. 6-7, no wood to be specific. He'll play the 6. About the best he could have done with that. Playing to the right of the 6 is really the only option. But he doesn't get the mark. He's just playing for a 10 box now against the 7 pin. And he'll miss it. He'll foul it out for a 9. In the gutter and coming out to take a pin does not count. That's 25 after 3 for Anthony Delmonico. If you're just tuning in, this is the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, a season-long series of one-on-one Candlepin bowling matches between challengers organized into classes and divisions competing for playoff contention. That's Anthony Delmonico down there in the dark and white shirt, kind of a fade style. That's a shot in the headpin, but it's a spread eagle 4-drop. Versus the eagle, he'll shoot at the 6 and take only the 6. Roadkill remains on lane 10 at Exeter Bowling Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. He'll finish with an 8 box, 33 after 4. Frustrating opener for the second game for Anthony Delmonico. So Exeter Lanes, yes, open since 1946, if you can believe it or not. It's a very old historic Candlepin bowling alley. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Anthony Delmonico on lane 10. To the right of the head pin, slight misfire, 6-drop, 4 horsemen left side. With 1 piece of wood kind of behind the 4-pin, nestled. And Delmonico will play the head pin, but a little bit too full, unfortunately. He's left with the 2-4-7 for a 10 box. 7 box minimum. He'll take that 10 box. 43 after 5. That's a rough half for Anthony Delmonico. But we'll see how JT Lyonnais responds. So yes, we're at Exeter Bowling Lanes tonight. 12 lanes, bit of a small house, but it has a glow bowling. Plenty of music, birthday parties. It's all wood approaches and all wood lanes here. Paper scoring from 1946. Has an attached bar called the Shooters Sports Pub. The owner is Rob Ficara, and will JT continue his mark streak? He will not get a strike, but he starts out with an impressive 9-drop on the head pin. Could be a spare. Let's find out. JT misses the 9-pin to the left. That ends his mark streak. 4 marks in a row at the end of the last game. And he misses again for a 9-box. JT will start out with a 9 after 1. 1 under Delmonico's 10 after 1. So yes, we're at Exeter Bowling Lanes, and this place is quite the place. It's up in the Seacoast. Paper scoring and in Seacoast adjacent. Plenty of things to do, so if you're up in the UNH area, definitely check this place out. Headpin shot in a split for JT Lyonnais. That's the 6 and the 8. And he'll punch right through the goalposts. He was aiming for the 6, was a little bit too far to the left. 8, 9, or 10 box for JT. He'll do it again, like Steely Dan, for an 8 box. 17 after 2 for JT Lyonnais. Yes, Exeter Bowling Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. Variety of entertainment options for the whole family. 12 lanes of Candlepin bowling. There's also pool tables, 13 TVs in the bar. Glow-in-the-dark bowling fun. Pizza and pub food, full bar and beer garden. JT to the left of the head pin, dropping 7. I was going to say 4 horsemen, but the 10-pin fell, so it's a 7 drop. 1, 2, 6. JT for the spare conversion, rushes that approach a little bit, takes out the 6 and leaves the 1 and the 3. Excuse me, it was 1, 3, 6 originally, not 1, 2, 6. Looks like a 10 box to finish it out for 27 after 3. Both of our bowlers having some trouble getting things started here in the second. Exeter Lanes has both bowling and dart leagues. There's a full dartboard setup in the bar. So if you're into darts and you're not into bowling, got you covered. JT with a bouncy first ball. 7 drop. 1, 3, and 7 for a spare leave with plenty of wood around it. And JT will play the 3, missing the head pin, leaving the 1 and the 7 on the deck for a 10-box opportunity. He'll take a 9 box, putting him at 36 after 4. JT trying to get things going here, but Anthony Delmonico having similar struggles. There's a chance they might finish on somewhat equal footing here in terms of this game in the half, but we'll see what JT can do. He could use a mark right about now. It's going to be on the head pin, the 1-3 pocket, leaving the left side hay bale. Left side hay bale meaning the 4, 6, 3, 7, and 8. No wood around it. He'll play it. He'll play the right side, the extreme right side, leaving the 2, the 4, and the 7. JT will finish for a 9. It's going to be 45 after 5 for JT Lyonnais. Rough half for both of our bowlers here at the end of the top of the second of 5. JT took the first game with a 126 after that 4-mark streak in the second half. Anthony Delmonico having some trouble getting some things started, but Anthony Delmonico has had a better head pin percentage than JT Lyonnais, so I'll be curious to see how things shake out. Anthony Delmonico, that's the bowler on the right lane there on lane 11, the faded dark and white shirt. He's currently 9 for 15 on head pins and 8 for 15 on splits. And Anthony Delmonico misses the head pin slightly to the right and gets an awkward array of pins drop down. The 1, the 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6. Can make a song out of that. Anthony Delmonico will hit the pocket, the correct pocket for a spare, almost, but leaves the 9 and the 10. He's got to pick a stick for a 9 or for a 9 box. Unlikely to be a 10, but we'll see. Plays the 9 pin the right way to attempt to get a 10 box, but it's a hard shot. He'll take a 9 for 52 after 6. In case you missed it, here are the 4 divisions and 4 bowlers apiece in 4 divisions for Class B North. We are in Division 2 tonight. It's a division matchup between Anthony Delmonico and JT Lyonnais. Delmonico to the left of the head pin, suddenly having some trouble finding the head pin again after starting out strong with the head pin, but my goodness, what even is that? The 1, the 5, 2, 3, 7, 10. He'll play the 1, 2 pocket and almost take out everything except for the 5. The center pin, the king pin remains on the deck. Oddly enough. Delmonico for the 10 box. He'll get it. That should put him at 62 after 7. Appreciate you watching this Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour Wednesday night bowling here at Exeter Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. Late summer, early fall. Pleasant drive up to the seacoast as always. Seacoast area as always is very pleasant. The neighborhood around Exeter Bowling Lanes is incredibly kind of peaceful and cozy. Kind of that seaside, seacoast adjacent kind of vibe to it. Anthony Delmonico connected with the head pin and drops 7, 5, 6, 3. And he'll spare up the triangle for his first mark of this game. 72 and a ball after 8 for Anthony Delmonico. And folks, if you think you want to try this out and go bowling, be sure to go to candlepin.org and click Go Bowling to find your nearest center. We're in the seacoast area of New Hampshire tonight, but there's plenty of centers all over the place. Anthony Delmonico looks like it might be a strike fill, possibly. Nope, it's going to be a 9 fill, late falling pin. Doesn't take the kingpin out, but it is a head pin shot for a spare leave on the 5 pin. Anthony Delmonico takes his shot. He fires. He'll take another spare. Double spares for Anthony Delmonico. And that should put him at 91 and a fill after 9. He's coming alive here in the second half, finally, after a bunch of warm-up boxes ranging between 6 and 10. This is the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, Class B North. Early season match between Anthony Delmonico and JT Lyonnais in a divisional. Delmonico on the head pin. He'll drop 5. Left side hay bale. No split at least. That is the 4, 5, 2, 7, 8. And he plays the pocket, but the pins scatter a little bit too much. 5 and the 8 are on the deck for a 10 box. Potential for a 98. It will be a 98 with that 10 box. Or excuse me, 106, not 98. I can't count. That'll be 106 for Anthony Delmonico. So 2 game total at 205 for Anthony Delmonico. JT is at 126 and a 45 half here at the incomplete second game. 60% head pin shots for Anthony Delmonico tonight. And 47% for JT Lyonnais. Split-wise, Anthony Delmonico has had slightly less luck, but JT will miss the head pin. But get no split there. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And he'll nearly spare it. He'll leave the 3 pin and the 3 pin only on the deck. So no spare. 10 box opportunity. Or 9 box. We'll accept that as well. 9 box for JT Lyonnais. Markless here in the 6th, 54. Compare that to 52 in 6 at the same point for Anthony Delmonico before he got hot with the 2 spares and the 2 10s. JT Lyonnais on the head pin. Nearly a strike. Slow falling pins. Leaving the 10 pin and the 10 pin only. Waiting for that wood to settle. Thinking about how he's going to play it. If you ask me, forego the wood. Just go for the 10 pin. 10 pin bowling. And oh no, is it going to be a fouled 9? It's going to be a fouled 9 for JT Lyonnais. Slight misfire. He was worried about that pin in the gutter, and it seems he nicked it. And then that nicked the 10 pin, so he lost a pin and a mark on that. JT Lyonnais, 47% head pin and 29% splits tonight. Averaging 8 per fill. JT on the head pin, 8 drop. 3 and the 9. Sleeper pin shots. Lyonnais. That was a difficult shot because there was a piece of wood in front of the 3. Would have deflected the ball. You had to hit it really kind of full to take that kind of shot out. He'll clean up for a 10 box. 73 after 8 for Lyonnais. There is a chance that Delmonico could take the second game and get his first 2 points of the night. JT Lyonnais. He fires to the right of the head pin, dropping 6. 1, 2, 4, 9. Anthony Delmonico with a fill total and average of 22 and 7.3 respectively tonight. Lyonnais 1-2-4-9. First spare opportunity. And he'll miss the 1-2 pocket, connecting with the 2-4 pocket instead, leaving the 1 and the 9. So no mark for JT. Rushes the third ball. We'll take a 9 box. 82 after 9 for JT Lyonnais. That puts him at 82 and 9. Compare that to Anthony Delmonico's 96 after 9 at the same point in the match. JT needs a mark. Needs a mark to maintain pace. And a wild pitch to the left. Takes out the pins in the left corner. For the spare bid, he will take it, though. That was a pretty clean-up shot. He needed that one. 92 and 10. But he cannot take the second game. He can get to 102, but he can't get to 106 or higher. So JT's final ball will just be a fill here. He fires on the head pin. He'll certainly try to get as close as he can to split the difference. He'll take an 8 fill for 100. JT is still up in the total, 226 to Anthony Delmonico's 205, but the gap has lessened a little bit. Delmonico will take the second game by 6, but JT is still up in the total by 21. Anthony Delmonico is still the leader of headpin shots tonight, 60%, 12 for 20. Lyonnais 9 for 20 at 45%. Lyonnais currently has a better fill total at 40, averaging 8. Delmonico with a fill total of 22, averaging 7.3. Split-wise, Delmonico is a little bit less lucky than Lyonnais, with 8 to Lyonnais' 5. And now we're going to start the third game. Quickly resetting here, and Delmonico will drop 6 right out of the gate. An interesting split to 7, 8, 10. Delmonico plays the 2, takes everything but the 10 pin out. That was a rather difficult shot, but the operative pin was the 2. Delmonico will play for a 10 box, and he'll get that 10 box. Just as predicted, 10 after 1 for Anthony Delmonico. Folks, if you like this content and you want to check out more Candlepin bowling content and you're just obsessed, check out YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. We're all over the place. Candlepin Bowling Network, Candlepin Corner, at Candlepin Bowling on TikTok, the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour on Facebook. There's Candlepin Chat, Alley Chat. There's the classic Candlepin shows on YouTube as well. All over the place. We'll talk more about it later. That's a 6 drop for Anthony Delmonico. That's the 4-6-2-10. Was a headpin shot in the split. For the spare, he'll sail through the void, and the void stares back. Doesn't hit any pins. 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 box for Delmonico. He does the same thing twice. He'll take a 6 box for 16 after 2. Anyways, to complete that thought, yes, so there's some classic Candlepin channels, such as Wolfman12395 in particular. There's also the Candlepin Bowling channel. Alley Chat's YouTube channel also does classic shows. There's also alleychat.net for their analysis of the Friday Night Pro League. And all sorts of other content waiting for you on the internets. Ask your parents before going online. And that's a slow-moving strike for Anthony Delmonico. So polite of him to wait for me to finish talking. It's a strike after 3, 26 and a fill for Anthony Delmonico. He's finally gotten his second strike of the match. Lyonnais is yet to fish for a strike. Or he's certainly fishing for a strike, but he hasn't landed one yet. He's got 5 spares. Delmonico is 2 and 2 for strikes and spares for the night. 15 headpin shots for Delmonico so far, out of 23 at this point in the match. Delmonico, first ball, the strike fill, dropping 8, missing the headpin, but getting a generous smattering of wood. 1 and the 8 pins are left on the deck. Spare leave for Anthony Delmonico. He'll play it, and he'll get it. So he'll fill that strike with 10, and then he'll get a spare on strike. 46 and a ball after 4 for Anthony Delmonico. Delmonico, a spare on strike, filling a spare. To the right of the headpin, just missed it just a little bit. That's a 5 fill, 4 horsemen left side, and the 9 pin are on the deck. For the spare, he'll play the 1-2 pocket, but the 9-pin will stay. That sleeper pin is always tough to get. So he's going to get a 9 or a 10 box here. Piece of wood in front of the 9. Just made a little jaunt right over to it. For the 10 box, bit of a misfire there. 60-5 for Anthony Delmonico. That's where we're at. 2.5 game total at 265 for Anthony Delmonico. Justin Lyonnais with a 2-game total of 226. Let's see what happens here. Justin Lyonnais opens up. Misses the head pin. 5 drop. It's the 1, 2, 6, 7, 10 for JT Lyonnais. Plays the head pin a little bit too full. 6 box or greater. 3, 6, 7, 10. The pitch misses again. 6 box for JT. 6 after 1. And my goodness, I forgot I had a page 3 of the socials. So there's also the Ripping the Rack podcast and The Approach. Tony Levesque's on YouTube, and Charlie Collins is on TikTok. Check them out. And yeah, again, plenty of Candlepin content to consume on the internet. Good, clean fun. That's a 9 drop on the head pin. 5 pin remaining for JT Lyonnais. Single pin spare. Will he get it? And he misses it slightly as he exclaims vocally. Lyonnais is 10 for 22 on the head pin tonight. And he'll take a 9 box. 15 after 2. And one last one, I swear. Check out candlepinsforcancer.com. There's the NE doubles coming up. You can sign up for that for qualifying roll-offs. Or if you don't want to bowl, you just want to donate, you can donate at candlepinsforcancer.com. Candlepins4cancer.com. That's another 9 drop for JT Lyonnais. Single pin spare leave. The 6 pin is what he's shooting at this time. Will he miss it this time? He's not going to miss it this time. That is a spare for JT. 25 after 3 for JT. 25 and a fill. He's got a lot to make up for after Delmonico striking the 3rd and a spare on that strike. JT fires. The pitch on the head pin. Big fill 8 drop. 2 in the 10. There's a split. 2-10 split. No wood to help him. And he fires. He'll play the 2, leaving the 10. And he's shooting for a 10 box. It'll be a 10 for Justin Lyonnais. 43 after 4. Justin Lyonnais 12 for 24 on headpin shots. Delmonico is 15 for 25. 50% for Lyonnais, 60% for Delmonico. JT Lyonnais on the headpin, dropping 7. That's a headpin shot and a split. 4.62 is what he's shooting at. On the 2-4, will the wood come over? Will it? They both walk away from the 6, leaving it to stare down JT Lyonnais. No mark. It's going to take a 10. That's 53 after 5 for JT Lyonnais. Anthony Delmonico has taken the lead here in the 3rd game, I think for the first time tonight. Anthony Delmonico has slowly been regaining ground after having a bit of a slow first game. So we still have a match, folks. It is not a runaway just yet. Welcoming back to the approaches, Anthony Delmonico. In round 1, he faced Spencer Alisi. He took 10 points against him. 583 series, 98, 133, 133, 94, and 125. Monaco shooting for a spare here on the 1, 2, 7, and 8. And he'll get it. He'll mark it up. One moment. My fingers are slow. Here we go. 70 and a ball. Anthony Delmonico in the 6th. He had 1 strike, 18 spares, and 10 tens against Spencer Alisi. To the right of the head pin, he fills with 7. Leaving the 1, 2, 4 on the deck. Spare shot, straightforward, just play it. And he plays the 1, 2 a little too full, leaving the 4 on the deck for a 10 box. 9 box minimum for Anthony Delmonico. Delmonico takes a 10. 87-7 is where we're at. 56% headpin shots for Anthony Delmonico tonight. 15 for 27. Justin Lyonnais is 13 for 25 on the headpin. 37% split percentage for Anthony Delmonico so far. The 7 drop, 2-4-7. 2-4-7 spare shot for Delmonico. Has to play the 2-4 pocket. And he plays the 4, leaves the 2, and leaves the 7. 2-7. 8 box minimum, 10 box maximum. And it will be a 10 box, as we like to see in Candlepin Bowling. That's 97-8 for Anthony Delmonico. In case you're just tuning in, I'm Steve Kelly on the call, and welcome to the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Season-long series of one-on-one Candlepin bowling matches between challengers organized into classes and divisions competing for playoff contention. We're at Exeter Bowling Lanes at Exeter, New Hampshire tonight. It's Anthony Delmonico. He missed the headpin to the left, drops 5, 1, 2, 6, 8, 10. 4 horsemen right side in the 8. Spare shot on the 1-3 pocket. That would be the most optimal shot, but he just hit the 3 pin too full. So he's looking at a 6 box or higher. Anthony Delmonico. And he'll sail the 3rd ball through the void for a 6 box. That puts him at 103. Anthony Delmonico has a grand total of 44 for fills so far, averaging 7.3 per mark so far tonight. He has 2 strikes and 4 spares. These are your next-gen stats provided by the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Check us out both on Facebook and on Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube. That's a 7 drop for Anthony Delmonico. The 1, the 5, and the 9. And he goes for the spare shot and just leaves the last pin on the deck. Excuse me, that was the 3, 5, and 9. The 3 pin is left on lane 11. That 3 pin will be the last one standing. And I believe Anthony Delmonico will finish with a 112. And I will briefly just confirm that. One moment. And that was a 112. JT Lyonnais, meanwhile. Lane 11. To the left of the headpin. He drops pins 1, 5, 3, 6, 9, 10. And a 2nd ball spare shot leaves all but the headpin on the deck. JT Lyonnais is 13 for 26 on headpins tonight. That's a 50%. It's a 9 box for JT. JT Lyonnais is yet to find a strike tonight. He has 6 spares, 7 splits, 27% of his first shots. He has racked in 48 for fills, 4 more than Anthony Delmonico, averaging 8 per mark. That's a 7 drop for JT. Again, missing the headpin. Having trouble with that headpin tonight. And the spare shot, he leaves the 7 pin on the deck. For the 10 box, he's going to take a 9. Frustrating 9 box for JT Lyonnais. 71 after 7. Anthony Delmonico might see an opportunity here. Things have been slightly tilting in his favor, inch by inch, this match so far. JT Lyonnais, if I know Justin, he can get hot pretty quick. And he's on the headpin. Speaking of that, nearly a strike. Still fishing for his first strike of the match. It's a 9 drop on the 7 pin. Shooting for a spare. Single pin spare on the 7. He'll miss it, unfortunately. So he's shooting for a 10 box now. He might miss the 2nd, get the 3rd. You might know the rest of the lyrics. He'll play the wood just for funsies, but he still misses it. He'll take a 9 box. That will put him at 80 in 8. And this could potentially be an issue for JT Lyonnais. He's going to need at least a mark to catch up to 112 or better. JT Lyonnais. To the left of the headpin, dropping 6, and a late falling 7th pin falls. And that's the 1-3-10 he's shooting at. On the 1-3 pocket, that will take a spare. And he'll miss the head pin, taking the 3 and the 10 out, leaving just the 1 pin. For the 10 box, I feel like I'm repeating myself. That's his 4th 9 in a row for 89. JT getting a little bit frustrated there. But that's how it goes in Candlepin bowling. It's a game of heavy precision. If you're off by just centimeters sometimes, that can be a huge swing in terms of points and competition. JT is off the head pin again. 4 horsemen right side. 1-3-6-10. He'll miss the head pin on the second ball as well, leaving the head pin. See if he can get 5 9s. 5 9s of service. And it will be 5 9s of service for JT Lyonnais. That's quite an uptime, but not so great in terms of Candlepin bowling. I believe that should be a 98. Third game for JT, and now the total is only within 7. JT still holding on to it from that great first game, but Anthony Delmonico will take the third game. 112-98. Delmonico definitely doing better on the head pin stat in particular, 53% to 47. Delmonico versus Lyonnais, respectively. Delmonico has 6 marks, but he has 2 strikes and 4 spares, and the combination in which he has been getting them has been sort of giving him a bit of an edge. The strange part is JT Lyonnais still has more fills, but it all depends on when you kind of get all those. And all kinds of different scenarios. So let's say hello to Anthony Delmonico here in the 4th game. And that is a 2-5-7-8-10 for Anthony Delmonico. Awkward split for sure. 2-5-7-8-10. The fire. He'll hit the object pin, but leaves the 5 and the 7. The pins just didn't quite cooperate on that one. So 5-7 for a 10 box, 8 box minimum. He'll fire, and he'll take a 10 box at least. Remedial ball for 10 after 1 for Anthony Delmonico. Delmonico, 17 head pin shots for the night at 55%, had a 31 boxes so far. Lyonnais is currently 14 for 30, 47%. Delmonico having an easier time on the head pin tonight than JT Lyonnais. Delmonico on the head pin again, and breaks the split, 8 drop. 6-10. 6-10 spare leave with a piece of wood across the 6 and the 10. Delmonico will take that for a spare. It's Class B, folks. Class B. 20 in a ball after 2 for Delmonico. Again, I'll show you the map here, folks. We're sort of in the cluster of southeast-ish New Hampshire where there's all those waypoints. We're in Exeter specifically. Plenty of bowling around here, though. Check it out. Candlepin.org. Click Go Bowling. And that's a 7 drop on the head pin. Once again, 7 fill for Delmonico. That is a split by official split definitions. 2-7-8. And he's a little bit too much to the right. Plays the wood that takes out the 8. He's going to be shooting at this 2 and the 7 for a 10 box opportunity. Anthony Delmonico is. He fires. And he'll take a 10 box by the skin of his teeth. 37 after 3 for Anthony Delmonico. 19 for 33 tonight on head pin shots. That's a 58% head pin percentage. Not bad. Not bad at all. Fill totals 51, averaging 7.3 per fill. Delmonico to the right of the head pin, and he'll drop 6. It's the 1, 2, 4, and 10. And he'll play it for a spare on the 1-2 pocket, taking out the 1, 2, 4, 10. Nicely done. It's a rather difficult shot to convert. But he's on a mark now. See if he can increase that fill total and average. See, these stats are kind of fun to collect once you start thinking about it. Delmonico on the head pin, and he's going to take a 7. And Delmonico does not like that spare leave. It is the 4, 8, and 10 pins. 4, 8, and 10. He's going to try it, and he'll take it, though. That was an incredible shot. So that's a double spare, 64 and a ball for Anthony Delmonico. Anthony Delmonico really with some impressive spare conversions. He has been perfect this half. 2 10s and 3 spares, 64 and a ball after 5. JT Lyonnais, the pressure is on. JT Lyonnais to the left of the head pin, left side, half Worcester. The first one of those we've seen tonight. JT Lyonnais, 14 for 31 on the head pin tonight, and he sails through the void. JT Lyonnais could be looking at a 2-box here if he's not careful. This is remedial for a 10-box. He's going to take 6 for 6 after 1, JT Lyonnais. Anthony Delmonico has more splits than JT, but he's been doing a great job at converting them, especially as of late. He's been really taking off in terms of the fill total and average. JT, the right of the head pin. Again, having trouble with the head pin tonight. 6 drop. If there's a takeaway tonight, it would be work on the head pin shots, JT. 1, 2, 4, and 10. He'll play the 1, but he'll play the 1, and the 1 will dance around the left sidewall, leaving the 2, the 4, and the 10. For a 10-box, he'll go for it. He'll take 1 out for an 8-box. 14 after 2 for JT Lyonnais. JT totaling 48 in bonus pins for fills tonight, averaging 8 per fill. Lyonnais, the pitch to the left of the head pin. Takes out a few pins, certainly. What even is that? That's the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 9, 10. And he's on the 1-3 pocket. That was the right shot, but a piece of wood thwarts the 9 and the 10 assassination attempt. And he'll go for the 10-box. He'll take a 9, and a wiggly 9 pin will remain on the deck for 23 after 3. Frustrating end to a promising first ball, or second ball, that is, for JT Lyonnais. JT fires to the left of the head pin. That's a 6 drop. Piece of wood rolling out of play. That is the 1, 2, 6, 9. For spare, and he'll miss the 1, 3. He'll take the 3 and only the 3, leaving the 9 pin untouched. The 6 and the 1 stand as bystanders. 7, 8, 9, or 10 box for JT, and he'll take a 10 box at least. Great for great out. 33 after 4. JT 14 for 34 on head pins at 41%. 7 for 34 on splits. He's on the head pin, dropping 6. It's a 5, 8, 9, 10 for JT. That wood is probably not going to be super helpful unless you play the left side cap of it very, very specifically. It's going to be a bit of a crapshoot. JT fires. He opts to just play direct, but he leaves the 8 and the 10. Firing on the wood on the right, he'll take a 9 box. 42 after 5. And that's another frustrating half for JT Lyonnais. 3.5 game total of 366 to 3.5 game total of 381 and counting for Anthony Delmonico. Anthony Delmonico has been steadily regaining control this match. 20 headpin shots out of 35 compared to JT Lyonnais' 15 for 35. Significantly better headpin stat, and I think that is what is starting to allow Anthony Delmonico to pull ahead here. But after a couple of practice slides, Anthony Delmonico is ready to roll, literally. To the right of the headpin, his fill on that spare is going to be 6. Bit of a misfire there. 1, 2, 7, 10. 1, 2 pocket is what he has to shoot at, and he misses. The head pin takes the 2 out. He's got the high-low jack plus wood. 1, 7, 10 with a piece of wood in front of the 7. Fires on the high-low jack, and he'll do the best he can for a 9 box. 79 after 6 for Anthony Delmonico. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast at the Atlantic Camp and Single Store. Some Wednesday night action at the seacoast of New Hampshire at Exeter Bowling Lanes. That's a headpin shot and a 9-drop for Anthony Delmonico, and a late falling pin, actually. That makes it a strike. Funny, I think both myself and Anthony Delmonico didn't quite expect that to go, but that's kind of Exeter pin action. It's kind of very interesting here. So Delmonico with 89 and a fill after 7. 4 marks this game. And the first ball is a bit of a misfire, but at least you get 2, thank goodness. So he's got the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Second ball will complete the fill on the strike. And he fires. Will he get it? He nearly does. He'll fill the strike with 9. 98 and 7. He's over 100 at the 8th. For the 10 box, he'll shoot and he'll score 10. 108 and 8 for Anthony Delmonico. 2 boxes to go, and he's already over 100. 108 in the 8th. Anthony Delmonico, our away bowler tonight, putting up great competition against JT Lyonnais. Delmonico to the right of the headpin drops 6. He is looking at the 1, 2, 4, and 9. He fires, and he'll get another spare. Delmonico is dialed in. Anthony dialed in Delmonico. 118 in the ball after 9. Let's check it on the stats. So he's at 54% for headpins tonight, 21 for 39, 13 for 39 on splits, racking up 73 for fills, averaging 6.6 per fill. That stat's about to change. 7 on the fill. Missing the headpin. 1, 3, 10 is what he's shooting at now. And he'll attempt to convert for a spare, but he's just a little bit too full on the headpin. Currently shooting for a 10 box. And he'll fire. And I think they're calling it good. I think if I heard that correctly, that should be 135. After 10 for Anthony Delmonico, a monster 452 after 4 games. And JT Lyonnais is now in the hot seat here. He's got to make something happen. He had a great first game, but the second, third, and half of this 4th game have been a little bit scary. Still trying to find that headpin. He drops 8 at least, leaving the 1 and the 3 on the deck. The 1-3 for a spare, and he'll get a spare. He needs that. JT will take a spare, first spare of this game. 52 in a ball after 6. JT is currently averaging 6.9 per fill and totaling 48 for the night. He's 15 for 36 on headpin shots. That was a headpin shot, and I think that was the first one I've seen in quite a while, actually. That's a 6-drop. And by quite a while, I mean 2 boxes, but, you know, details. He'll go for the spare, and Willie... Oh, he almost gets the 10-pin out of it. But no mark. 8, 9, or 10 box, and he's going to take an 8 box. 66 after 7 for Anthony Delmonico. I mean, not Anthony Delmonico, JT Lyonnais. Talking about Anthony Delmonico so much, I'm saying his name too much, even when he's not bowling. The fills in particular are where JT is struggling tonight along with the headpin shots. He fires, and again to the right of the headpin. Half Worcester plus. 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 6, 10. And it'll connect with the headpin that time, but hits it a little bit too lightly, leaves the 2, 7, 8, and 10. No spare for JT Lyonnais. The fire on the 2, he'll take a 7. Rough out, 73. After 8 for JT Lyonnais. Compare that to 108 after 8 for Anthony Delmonico. Lyonnais 42% for headpin shots tonight. There's a headpin shot, but he gets a 7-10 split. Might have some help with that wood, though. Let's analyze that wood. It's got some wood a little bit far out, but it's clustering a little bit. If he plays it right on the right side, I think it'll take out everything. But there's also a bit of a luck factor here. JT will play it. Will he get the 7? Will it come back for the 10? The ball will not take the 10. Rough luck for JT. No mark. He'll take a 10, though. Believe it or not, actually, I was a little bit worried because officially in the rule book, you can't technically have a ball still out there. And if he hit it, I think I don't know what we would have said, but he avoided it. He snipered that 10 pin for a 10 box, 83 and 9 for JT Lyonnais. JT Lyonnais will be a strike. It was a pretty quick 9 drop. He'll drop 9. 6 pin is wiggling. And he'll fire for the spare, and he'll get it. That's a spare for JT Lyonnais. That's 93 in a ball. And he won't take the 4th game, though. He's down by far too much, but he can try to get over 100 at least. Get that fill average and total up a bit, 54 and 6.8 respectively. And he'll finish the 4th game with a 7 fill. That'll put him at 100. Down by 35 to Anthony Delmonico's 135 after 4. Anthony Delmonico has suddenly flipped the script around. He's up by 35 in the 4th and 28 in the total. Currently raking in 6 points after JT's promising opener and holding on to the total, but Anthony Delmonico certainly recovered all of that and then some. So we're going to move on to the 5th and final game here. It's the last chance for either bowler to take anything in terms of the final total, which is worth 4 points, and the final game, of course, is worth 2, so it's really a 6-point final game. But that's what we're going to be looking at here at the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Anthony Delmonico just starting things out, doing a couple practice slides. He's 10-4 for the season. He's still early on. He's only bowled 1 match so far. Opens up to the left of the head pin with a half Worcester, a 2 drop. Lemon drop in the 8. The 2 and the 8 are down. First spare shot. He'll overcorrect a little bit. He'll take a few more out. 1, 4, 5, 7 is what he's shooting at for a 10 box. No mark. Delmonico, the pitch. Looks like he's going to take a 7 box. So 5th and final game here at the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. I hope this broadcast finds you well. Everyone involved here, from the bowlers to the staff you cannot see all around me, appreciate your viewership and interest in this live stream, as well as Candlepin bowling as a whole. The staff at Exeter Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire will certainly appreciate your visitation if you want to come out here and check this place out. Historical bowling alley since the post-World War II era, 1946. That's a 6 drop. Right side accordion for Anthony Delmonico. He'll take the 9 pin out, breaking the accordion. You know the joke about accordions. There was once a guy who left his accordion in the back of a station wagon, and he came back horrified to find the window broken, and another accordion was left in there. That's a 9 box for Anthony Delmonico, 16 after 2. This has been like 3 streams in a row where I've told the accordion joke, so maybe I'll put that one to rest for a little while. And again, folks, if you live in the area or are willing to make the pilgrimage, the Candlepin bowling community would absolutely appreciate your interest and visitation. Again, check out candlepin.org and click Go Bowling to find your nearest center to give this unique regional sport a try. On the head pin, Anthony Delmonico drops 8, leaving the 6 and the 7. 6 and the 7 with some wood in front of the 6, to the left of it slightly. He'll play the wood doesn't do anything for him. No mark. 8, 9, or 10 box for Anthony Delmonico. Final first half of the 5th game. 5th and final game. He'll take a 9 box. 7, 9, 7. 25 after 3 for Anthony Delmonico. Delmonico 53% for head pin shots tonight. 23 for 43. 18 for 40 for Justin Lyonnais in the head pin shots department. Delmonico fires on the head pin on the 1-2 pocket, dropping 6 out of the gate. That is the 3, 6, 7, 10. And he'll try to play the 3, but just a little bit too much to the left. Cost him all the pins and the spare opportunity. Delmonico. And he'll take the 10 pin out for a 7 box. That's 32 after 4 for Anthony Delmonico. Delmonico misses the head pin. Haven't said that much tonight. Drops 6. 4 horsemen right side. 1, 3, 6, 10. And will he run him down? He almost does. He hits the 1-3 pocket. He makes a rather expletive comment about the 10. For the 10 box, he'll attempt to play the 10 and just miss it slightly for a 9 box. That will put him at 41 after 5. That will conclude the final first half of the match tonight for Anthony Delmonico, 41 after 5. With a 53% head pin percentage, 24 for 45 tonight. Justin Lyonnais has a lot of ground to make up tonight. JT starts out to the left of the head pin, drops 6. Just slightly to the right of the head pin. It's the 1-3-6-8. Fires on the 1-3. Well, he would have fired on the 1-3, but the ball sailed to the right a little bit. Leaves the head pin, no mark. 9 or 10 box. And he'll miss it to the left for a 9 box. That's 9 after 1 for JT Lyonnais. Let's see here. We'll talk about that after this next box. Leaving you in suspense. And JT will have a really rough first ball. Misses the head pin and doesn't get much to show for. 4 horsemen right side, the 4, the 7, and the 8. Misses the object pocket, but drops everything but the 1 and the 10. No mark, but could get a 10 box, 8, 9, or 10 box. JT Lyonnais fires on the head pin, and he'll take a 10. Puts him at 19 after 2. Lyonnais is 18 for 42 on headpin shots. It's 43%. He only has 61 in fills. Compare that to Delmonico's 80. The fills really get you. If you're looking for improvements, think headpin and fills. These little stats really add up. It's all about the small numbers. JT misses the headpin to the left. And he connects with a headpin, but hits really awkward rip-off shot there. Pin's almost phasing through the 5 and the 3. And it's going to be an ugly, ugly 6 box for JT. 25 after 3. JT Lyonnais. Delmonico is averaging 7.3 per fill, taking an 80. Lyonnais taking 7.6 on average per fills. Lyonnais fires on the head pin this time. He connects with the head pin, and he doesn't get much to show for it, unfortunately. That's a split. 4-6-2. Or 2-4-6. Whether you like imperial or metric. And he takes the 2 out, leaving the goalposts, the 4 and the 6. And field goal. Can't give him 3 points, but how about 8? Lyonnais, 33 after 4. And, well, Anthony Delmonico just kind of still owns the night so far. Justin Lyonnais is really going to need to pull something out for these last 6 boxes. Lyonnais on the head pin this time. 9 drop. Everything falls but the 7. Single pin spare on the 7. Versus the 7. He'll get it that time. It's a mark for JT. Seems he kind of crammed all his marks into the first game, and ever since then he's been just kind of chasing that dream. $61 extra pins for fills for JT Lyonnais. Compare that to 80 for Anthony Delmonico. Delmonico with a better fill average of 7.3 per fill. Lyonnais at 6.8. Headpin shot wise, Delmonico is doing better at 24 for 45. Lyonnais is 20 for 45. 53% for Delmonico on headpins, 44% for Lyonnais. Split-wise, Delmonico has had a better percentage, but again, splits are contingent upon the headpin being down. And if you miss the headpin, you have that much more of a chance of not getting a split by the definition. Delmonico, meanwhile, dropping 6. He's to the right of the headpin. And what do we got? We got the 1, 2, 9, and 10 for Anthony Delmonico. And he's a little bit full on the object pin, leaving the 2. For the 10 box on the 2 pin, Delmonico. Take a 9 for 50 and 6. So we're in the final string, so we'll kind of start to talk about some outros, such as our special thanks. I'd like to always thank our ACST committee members, such as our Commissioner Danny Finn and Class B Treasurer Corey Alisi. Thanks, folks, for everything you do to keep the ACST going and managing and wrangling all of us, myself included. That's a 9-pin drop, and the 5-pin is remaining on the deck for Anthony Delmonico. Single pin spare. He'll get it. That's a spare for Anthony Delmonico. Oops. The heck was that symbol? That's what happens when you press the option key and not the command key. 60 in a ball after 7 for Anthony Delmonico. 3 strikes, 9 spares for the night. JT, no strikes, 9 spares. Delmonico will fill that spare with 5. Bit of a rough release there. 4 horsemen right side in the 7. 1, 3, 6, 7, 10. And he'll take out everything but the head pin, leaving the head pin alone. The Lone Ranger head pin. For the 10 box, he'll take a 10 box. Just as he drew it up on paper, 75 after 8. So yes, Danny Finn and Corey Lisi, thank you. And Micah Imperato, always, for stats and numbers crunched in the background, calculating everyone's leads and totals and all the crazy stats that I then kind of feed back into these broadcasts. Always thank you for that, Micah. Thanks for Brian for helping me out with the kind of design and direction and all that kind of stuff. Brian, I know you're kind of lurking in the comments tonight, so thank you for that. That is a 6 drop for Anthony Delmonico, right side 4 horsemen. 1, 3, 6, and 10. Pin in the gutter out of play. And he released a little bit too far to the right out of the get-go, leaving the head pin. No mark, but can still get a 9 or a 10 box. I'd like to thank the staff at Exeter Bowling Lanes. Always super accommodating. And even asked me if needed an Ethernet cable or anything I needed, and I said, no, I'm pretty self-sustenant, but thanks for the offer anyway. Always appreciate that. And always thank viewers like you for watching the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, as always. And Delmonico having trouble finding the head pin all of a sudden here. That's another 4 horseman right side and a sleeper, the 8 pin. See if he can run this down, and it'll connect with the object pin, but things just don't fall in his favor. 3, 6, 10 for a 7 box or greater for Anthony Delmonico to close out. It's going to be a sub 100 game. We'll take 1 out for an 8 box. That should be 92 and 10 for Anthony Delmonico. He remarks, sad ending, but can't really complain after those middle 3 games, though. He'll conclude with a 544 5-game total, bookending it with 2 games that could have been a little higher, and he probably could have gotten a little bit closer to 600 if those were slightly better, but still an impressive 50% head pin percentage, exactly 50% on the nose, 25 for 50. And now the thrilling conclusion. JT Lyonnais on a mark, on a spare. He fires on the head pin, the 1-2 pocket. Take an 8 fill. He needed that one. Sleeper pins 3 and 9 on the deck. And actually, let's zoom in on that so you can see the sleeper pin. 3 and 9. Piece of wood still settling. You just got to go for the 3 pin and spray and pray, especially with that wood. Lyonnais. The pitch, he'll go for the wood, and unfortunately that was not where he was aiming, I think. No mark on the 3 pin. The 10 box, he'll take 9. 60 after 6 for JT Lyonnais. I want to thank you all for watching and coming out for this Wednesday night bowling in the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Hope this was a pleasant viewing experience for you. If you like what you saw and want to see more, I invite you to strike, comment, and subscribe to the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook. That's where most of the matches are streamed. JT no mark. He's on the head pin for a 10 box, but he'll miss it for a 9. 69 in 7. So also check out the Candlepin chat group on Facebook for plenty of Candlepin discussions. Very active group. Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Candlepin Corner on YouTube, at Candlepin Bowling on TikTok. There's the Outrun the Bear page on Facebook and Instagram. Alley Chat on YouTube. It's a 9 drop for JT, by the way. On the 5 pin. For the spare, and he'll miss the 5 pin. No spare for JT. He remarks, not his night, and I have to agree. JT will fire on the 5 pin, miss the second, get the third. You know the rest of the lyrics. 79 after 8 for JT Lyonnais. Also, check out the Candlepin Bowling channel on YouTube, the Ripping the Rack podcast on YouTube, and the Approach podcast. And if all of that was so daunting for you, don't worry, I'll have some visuals to remind you later on to bug you about the socials. JT, again, struggling to find the head pin tonight. That's a half Worcester plus. And he's off the left the head pin again, the 1 and the 8. No mark. A 9 or 10 box for JT. See if he can beat Anthony Delmonico's 92. He'll take a 9 box for 88 and 9. He can still take 2 points this game. It's all about the points. JT is 22 for 49 on head pins tonight. 11 for 49 on splits. JT just having a rough night tonight. On the head pin there, 9 drop. Good way to close out. 3 pin is the only pin left on the deck. Single pin spare leave for JT Lyonnais. This is the last spare opportunity of the night, in the last ball of the night. JT will miss that spare. We should start up a stat for missed single pin spares. JT will go for the single, will take a 10, miss the second, get the third. You know, yada, yada, yada. But that will be the end of the night for us here at the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. So here's the results of the 5th and final game. 522 for JT Lyonnais to finish off against Anthony Delmonico's 544. In the final game, JT will take 4 points at the end of the 5th game. Let's size up the situation for the final stats here. Anthony Delmonico will take 10 points tonight. Justin Lyonnais will take 4. And Justin Lyonnais started out strong at the beginning with a 126 to 99, but then he steadily lost ground on and didn't take the second, third, or fourth game. And that was kind of how things ended up shaking out. So JT with no strikes for the night, 9 spares. Delmonico, 3 strikes and 9 spares. And 15 tens for Anthony Delmonico, 11 tens for JT Lyonnais. Perfect box percentage award goes to Anthony Delmonico tonight. Head pin percentage is in favor of Anthony Delmonico tonight, 54 to 40%. And after assessing everything else, Anthony Delmonico will rise to 20 and 8, and Justin Lyonnais will go to 16 and 12. And that should just about do it for us at Exeter Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. Thanks for watching. Again, I've been Steve Kelly on the call, and for Anthony Delmonico and JT Lyonnais, hope you guys had a great time watching this match. Oh, yes, also, so check out candlepins4cancer.com. Candlepins number 4cancer.com to either donate or sign up for qualifying roll-offs. The Andy doubles are coming up. Also, here's the socials again, in case you missed it earlier. Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube, TikTok at Candlepin Bowling, Candlepin Corner on YouTube, the ACST Facebook page, and we also have Candlepin Chat on Facebook, alleychat.net, and youtube.com/@alleychat for the Alley Chat stuff. There's the classic Candlepin TV shows. You can check those out. There's also Ripping the Rack, the podcast, the Approach podcast on Facebook. Tony Levesque has an awesome bowling YouTube page, and so does Charlie Collins on TikTok. Again, Candlepins for Cancer. We said that already, but again, can't ever stress that enough. Candlepins4cancer.com. Go to candlepin.org and click Go Bowling to find your nearest center if you just want to bowl for funsies or think you can bowl better than Anthony Delmonico and JT Lyonnais tonight. And that should be just about it for us tonight. And for everyone here at Exeter Bowling Lanes, I want to wish you a great night, and we'll see you at the next Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Have a great one, everybody.